The doll's neck. I love dolls, but I had one scary experience with a doll once. This is the story of that time. Since I was young, I spent most of my time alone. My mother was already a single mother when I became aware of things, working irregular shifts as a nurse, so we had a passing life. Occasionally, my grandmother from the neighboring town would come to visit, but because she had bad legs, we only saw each other about once a month. Furthermore, I myself was shy and introverted, so I had zero friends. The only playmates I had were the dolls I owned. Still, I didn't feel lonely very often. I think I was so absorbed and engrossed in playing with dolls. Playing with dolls mainly involved playing house. There were various types of dolls, each with their own roles. I prepared houses in schools, and even though I was the one moving them, the human drama that unfolded there was something I was proud of and never got bored of. There was definitely a world of my own, and I was completely absorbed in it. One day, when I woke up, my mother was still sleeping, but there was a pre-prepared meal on the table. After reheating it and finishing my meal while watching TV, it was time to go to school. I called out to my mother before leaving, but she was in and out of sleep. As I walked along my usual route to school, I noticed that there were more items than usual placed in the garbage collection area. I think it was the day for collecting bulky waste. Oh! I could see only the head of a doll rolling among them. The body must have been completely broken or missing. The doll's head was about 3 centimeters in size. I was curious when our eyes met, but I couldn't take it with me since I had to go to school. After school, on the way home, the bulky waste was still there. The doll's head was still there, so without hesitation, I picked it up and brought it home, adding it as a member of our family. There was a slight scratch on the doll's forehead, but I didn't mind. It was a unique feature of that child, and it was good. Since it only had a head, I played with it as it was, but suddenly having a new companion made me excited as if a transfer student had come, and our pretend play became even more intense than usual. When I went to the bathroom and came back, there was an unfamiliar girl in my room, and I was frozen. "Can I play with you too?" I wonder if she was around the same age as me, with long hair and someone I had never seen before. Although it would be an unusual situation under normal circumstances, it was quite common in our area at that time, with grandmothers entering houses without permission and neighbors coming and going frequently, and sometimes I would even eat meals at other people's houses, so I guess that was just the way things were back then. Unable to refuse, I reluctantly played with the girl and doll, but it turned out to be more fun than I expected, and before I knew it, it was already dark outside. "Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?" I asked, and the girl nodded. So I headed to the kitchen, grabbed some food from the fridge, and when I returned, the girl was gone. I thought, but since she had entered on her own, I assumed she had left on her own, so I didn't think much of it. More than that, I was so excited and having so much fun that I couldn't easily fall asleep at night. After that, the girls started coming to my house frequently to play together. Her name was A, and she never mentioned where she lived, appearing and disappearing suddenly, but I have strong memories of having so much fun playing that I didn't care about such things. "You seem brighter lately," my mother and grandmother would often say after I started playing with A. Maybe gaining a friend gave me confidence. From that time on, I naturally started making more friends. Around the time when playing with A became a daily routine. "I'm hungry." When I said that to A, she said, "Then, want to eat this?" and handed me 2 daifuku. "Since there are 2, let's eat together." "Thank you." I was delighted to have something sweet when I was hungry, and I finished eating in no time. A, who was watching me with a smile, didn't try to eat any. Did you enjoy it? You can have mine too. Ha! Are you sure? Yeah. I'm not hungry. Feeling bad about it, I decided to take advantage of the kindness. But as soon as I took a bite, I noticed something strange. Despite being daifuku, it was bitter instead of sweet. Instinctively trying to spit it out, A quickly moved and covered my mouth with her hand. If you're my friend, you'll eat it, right? Even when I tried to push her away, A's strength was terrifyingly strong and I couldn't budge. Ugh. With the vomit that came up along with the daifuku, I finally couldn't breathe anymore. I smirked as she watched me like that, and I felt myself drifting away. When I woke up, I was lying in a hospital bed. I was worried. What were you thinking? Saying that, my mother sitting next to the bed hugged me. I had no idea what had happened to me. According to what I heard, when my mother came home, she found me collapsed in my room. Judging from the color of my lips and face, she immediately recognized it as choking and performed first aid on the spot. She made me spit out what was in my mouth, ensured my breathing, and then called an ambulance. The doctor warned that if it had been a few minutes later, it could have been irreversible. My mother also scolded me, saying, "Don't do stupid things anymore," but I still don't quite understand. You were choking on a doll's head stuck in your throat. Ha! Not daifuku. The doll's head? What on earth happened? When I returned home with my mother, we couldn't find the doll's head that was supposedly stuck in my throat anywhere in the house. Then my mother said, "I've seen that doll's head before." Ha! It had a scar on its forehead, and it looked exactly like the doll I used to play with when I was a child. What was the name of the child you've been playing with recently? A. Ha. The name my mother gave to that doll was also A. In the end, I never found out what the doll's head stuck in my throat actually was.